And Buffett and Beyond Research brings you the stock of the week, Costco Wholesale, which is a recession-resistant stock. And remember, folks, if you want to live on this beach like Jimmy Buffett somewhere between Beachway Drive and Dolphin Road, then you've got to learn how to invest even better than Warren Buffett. And what does Costco do? Well, we all know what it does. It was formed by the merger of Price Company and Costco Wholesale in October 1993. Who knew that? I didn't. But the company operates wholesale membership warehouses. Now, this is important, membership, because, folks, I pay, $60 every 2 years or $60 a year or something like that to belong to Costco because I get prices so much cheaper. Recurring income. That is the secret right there. That's what wholesale membership means, folks. And they have warehouses in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, the United Kingdom, and on and on and on. And we know that it sells merchandise directly from warehouses to the restricted membership that pays, I don't know what it is, but every year I pay it, folks. Food and sundries account for 38% of sales and employs around a little over 300,000 people. Recognize the name Kirkland? That's very, very important, folks, because every store eventually tries to sell its own brand name products. Kirkland is Costco's brand name products. And guess what, folks? Kirkland sells more products than does Kraft Heinz. Yes, Buffett said it himself. All right, let's see what Costco does over 5 years. The green line is Costco. The green vertical lines are Costco, and the blue vertical lines are the average stock. And, of course, if we want to outperform the average stock, if we want to perform the S&P 500, we want to fill our portfolio with stocks that are better than the average stock. I mean, why in the world would you want to put a below average stock in your portfolio? Makes no sense, and yet people do it all the time. So anyway, Costco has a return on equity of 16.6%, where the average stock is 13.5%. Net income growth, 14% for Costco, 13% for the average stock, and revenue, which is very, very important, 10.1% versus 7.1% for the average stock. So over 5 years, this company is beating out the average stock, which is a big deal, folks, especially what I'm going to show you coming up. And let's come over here and look at the net income. Now, the net income is a comparable earnings number. It's not the traditional accounting earnings number. It is traditional accounting earnings take away the non-recurring items and future liabilities. And so we can see that with Costco, every year their earnings go up, or their net income goes up. Now, the clean surplus return on equity, we like to see, well, the average stock has a 13% clean surplus return on equity. We like to see a 20% clean surplus return on equity in our portfolio. And this is one of the very few stocks that we have in our growth portfolio right now that has a clean surplus return on equity better than average, much better than average, but less than that 20% threshold. And we'll see why in a moment. Now, the retention rate, how much money does the company take from what it's earning and puts back in the company in order to grow? About 75% for 2024. And we like to see 100%, but you don't find too many companies like that unless they're very, very small. And we want to see companies that have a good track record. But the retention rate, about 75%. So it's still growing, but it's not growing. It's growing faster than a Coke or a Pepsi or a McDonald's, but it's not growing as fast as some of our other stocks in our growth portfolio. And when we come over here to the years to pay debt, this is Buffett's rule of thumb. If a company takes all the money it's making and uses it just to pay its debt, how many years will it take to pay off its debt? His rule of thumb is 5 years. Our rule of thumb is 3 years. This company can pay it off in less than a year, folks. So for practical purposes, it has very, very little or no debt. And it's paying out a very small dividend, which means it's putting a lot of money back into itself in order to grow. And we like that. Now, let's see how this company has done over the past 1 year, and so we'll chart it against the S&P 500. S&P 500 is this black line, and we can see that for the first part of this year, it was doing just as well as the S&P 500, and then all of a sudden it took off, folks, when it started coming out with its great earnings numbers, and sometimes it pays an extra dividend. People just love that. So we can see that with the market up over the past 1 year, market is up 15%, Costco is up 30%. So it's doubling the S&P 500 over a 1 year period. When we look at 5 year period, well, black line is the S&P 500 up 75%. Costco is up over 175%. So it's more than doubling the S&P over 5 years. But here's what I want to show you. Back here, this is 2020. We can see the big drop of over 20% in the S&P 500, this black line. And what did Costco do? Well, folks, Costco went up in the year 2020. The S&P 500 did too, but we're looking at when this nation, when the U.S. and the world pretty much also went into a recession. It was a quick recession, to be sure. We're still feeling the effects of it, by the way. But anyway, we could see that Costco did not go down at all. And that's why we say it's a recession-resistant type of stock. So maybe when we're looking at a growth portfolio, we say, we want to put 1 or 2 or 3 stocks in there that don't go down as much as the market when the market goes down, and goes up more than the market, especially more than twice as much as the market when the market goes up. So we have the best of all worlds here in Costco, folks, and we like this stock very, very much. So, folks, remember, if you want to live on this beach like Jimmy Buffett used to live and walk on the beach at sunrise like Jimmy Buffett once did, then you've got to learn how to invest even better than Warren Buffett. And, folks, this is not a sunset. This is a sunrise. Now, this is the way to begin your day. What a beautiful, beautiful sunrise. All right, folks. We've had a pretty good week. We've had a pretty good couple of months in here. So you go out, you enjoy the weekend, have a good time, be with your loved ones, and folks, we'll see you right back here on Monday.